Hello, and good evening to you all. I'm sorry that I'm not able to be there in person on this occasion. It is a great honour to receive an award for religious freedom. Religious freedom is something very close to my heart and is something that I have worked on as a lawyer for many years. That work culminated in a victory in the United Kingdom Supreme Court at the end of 2013. That case started 7 years ago when my daughter, who was a member of the Church of Scientology, had a simple wish. She wanted to be married in her own church. But the law at that time in England was based on an interpretation of an 1855 statute, which was extremely discriminatory. It concerned the registration of religious buildings, and the concept of what a religion was in 1855 was extremely narrow. So, when I went with my daughter to the office of the Registrar General for Births, Deaths and Marriages 7 years ago, we were told that it was not possible. The only way that my daughter could enjoy her own religious freedom was by changing the law. So we went to court. It was not just Scientology that was affected by this. It concerned the rights of the followers of all religions, because there were no proper criteria for determining what religion was in English law before this case. Indeed, the law at that time, such as it was, suggested that a lot of well-known religions did not qualify, including Buddhism, Jainism, Quakers, Unitarians, and even Hindus. But all that has now changed, thanks to the Supreme Court ruling. Now people of any religion in the United Kingdom can enjoy the same rights and freedoms. So that is very good. If people ask me why religious freedom is vitally important, I will answer as follows. Imagine a universe consisting only of objects and space, where all there was atoms, atoms whose movements were entirely determined by the laws of physics, and there was nothing else whatsoever, nothing to perceive those objects or direct their motion. Imagine living in such a world. One cannot imagine it because such a world has no life in it. Indeed, even imagining anything is beyond the capacity of that world. It is a world entirely without meaning, where everything has exactly the same importance as everything else, and that importance is zero. And yet there are people who would have it that you exist in such a world. Such people would deny you freedom of religion. They also deny you a life. Because life is not an object. Life is something that can perceive and direct objects in the physical universe. And religion is simply a belief in life. One could call that life a spirit or a soul, or we might simply call it consciousness. Physical scientists can never explain consciousness, nor have they ever been able to find it in all the brains they have cut up. And yet you know your consciousness exists because it is you, and you are aware of being aware. Indeed, the existence of your consciousness is the only thing that you can be absolutely sure of. Beyond that, everything else is faith. Everything else is belief. And religion seeks to give meaning to your consciousness, a meaning to your life. Nothing but religion does this. Religion seeks to answer the key questions of your existence. Was my consciousness created, or has it existed forever? If it was created, why was it created? Do other consciousnesses exist beyond my own? And how should I behave in relation to them? How do I improve my consciousness? Which is the same as asking, how do I improve me? Different religions answer these questions in different ways, but they all consider that it is life that is important, not objects. They all seek to map out a path to living a better life, one with meaning and fulfillment. In their judgment, the 5 judges of the Supreme Court said as follows. We would describe religion in summary as a spiritual belief system held by a group of adherents which claims to explain mankind's place in the universe and relationship with the infinite, and to teach its adherents how they are to live their lives in conformity with the spiritual understanding associated with the belief system. That is spot on. In relation to Scientology, the Supreme Court considered the principal Scientology practice known as auditing. And they said, of auditing, its aim is to help Scientologists to free themselves from material influences of the physical universe and so attain greater spiritual awareness. That is also spot on. I thoroughly recommend reading the whole Supreme Court judgment. It can be found on a website which my daughter created to celebrate her wedding, which was held in the Church Scientology in London early last year. The website is excellent and it can be found at the address allowed.uk.com. So now in the United Kingdom, we have true religious freedom. People are free to choose the life they want to live. It is always important to remember, your life is what you think it is. Any other description is for someone else's benefit. Thank you once again, and I wish you all a very good night.